Hi, hello guys, welcome to a new reaction. For those who don't know, I'm Lapis Rabbit and this is my channel. Welcome to my channel, okay? So yeah, and today I'm going to make another reaction about the lore of League of Legends, now about the champions, the story of the champions. Now it's Kayle and Morgana. This was a suggestion, and yeah, I hope everyone enjoy. For those who don't know, English is not my first language, so please be patient with me. And sorry, I a little too fast. I have a lot of things I need to do. Sorry, but yeah. And this video is not a substitute for the original video, so I will be pausing. I will be speaking. So if you wanna see this video, no pausing, no speakings, no going backs, because I'm going back if I don't understand something. Please go to the link in the description of this video, okay, and watch the video in his full, okay. And the original channel is going to be here to the Necrit. I try to find other I try to find other channels who speak about the lore of League of Legends, but I couldn't find anyone. Always was show me Necrit. I don't know. But if you have a different channel you want me to react, please tell me in the comments, okay? So yeah. I hope everyone enjoy, hope everyone like it. If you want to see me playing games, go to my stream channel in Twitch, and yeah, that is all. I hope my character is okay, I hope my voice is okay, and yeah, let's start it.
Well, it took them a while, but Kayle and Morgana were revealed. And although I can tell you right now that their story is pretty cool, you better wait for the next video.
This was a recommendation, so if you have any recommendations you want me to react of a champion of something like that, please tell me, please, okay, in the commentaries.
Especially if you avoided all spoilers. That one's going to be much bigger. But today we are talking about Kayle and Morgana. First of all, we were right. They really do have 6 wings as we predicted. If you have a look at Morgana, she also does have 6 wings. A pair on her head, a pair on her butt, and the main pair of wings is actually bound by chains. But that's not all. Not only do we know that Morgana's abilities didn't change at all, Kayle changed slightly, and the majority of their skins were remade from the ground up. For example, this is the new Battleborn Kayle, Silver Kayle, and Unmasked Kayle. But we also got their
okay. This is for 4 years ago, so tell me if any of this is changed, okay?
Stories already. Now, when I was reading them, I realized that it is a story structured like the story of Victor and Jace. Both champions have a story seen from their point of view, but only if you combine them will you get the full picture.
Okay, oh, so every story of the champion is based on his point of view. At least of these 4 champions.
It is exactly the same with their point of view, but only if you combine.
This is for Arcane, right? Oh no, it's a different guy. Look a little different. No, maybe I'm wrong,
Then will you get the full picture? It is exactly the same with Kayle and Morgana. At first I thought that I would just go through their stories one by one, but then a lot of you wouldn't make all the cool connections. So instead I decided to combine the 2 storylines to give you the best description of what actually happened to them. So with that, let's slowly get into the complete story of Kayle and Morgana.
Yeah, let's go. I see them in the... I think it's still here? Yeah, I think it's still here. They are fighting in the air. Yeah, I remember that.
Their story begins during the early stages
in the
of the
cinematic.
Wars,
They was just, sorry. Sometimes I start to speak and then I speak just half of the thing I want to speak. I'm really sorry about that. I wanna say they was in the cinematic still here. If I remember right, they're still here on the call. I think it's still here. They still here. I just react, and yeah, then I remember that from there.
Was a global conflict during.
I didn't know his name. I know now because someone tell me in the comments to react to this to the lore of Caitlyn and Morgana, and now I found out that those two. Okay, for those who don't know, English is not my first language, so okay, be a little patient with me,
During
okay?
which humans figured out how to use the world runes that were scattered across the planet. Unfortunately, the world runes are essentially little keys to the power that created Runeterra.
Wait, let me come back. I was talking, so I didn't pay
Their
attention.
story begins during the early stages of the Rune Wars, which was a global conflict during which humans figured out how to use the world runes that were scattered across the planet. Unfortunately, the world runes are essentially little keys to the power that created Runeterra, so you can imagine the destruction such power can cause. The Rune Wars spread across both Valoran and Shurima, so escaping the...
And supposed to be a lot of land here, right? This is just the big hole then that happened after the destruction using the runes. Sorry if I said that wrong, sorry.
The conflict was nearly impossible. During these dark times, Mount Targon stood as a beacon of light. Legends say that the Targon's chosen heroes can save humanity from certain destruction. So out of desperation, two Targonians, Mihira and Kayle, decided to test their own fate. They decided to climb the mountain to save their tribe. Even when they learned that Mihira was heavy with the child, they pressed on. When they reached the mountain summit, a place where Runeterra touches the stars, it was Mihira who was chosen as a divine vessel for the aspect of justice, wielding a sword that blazed with a fire brighter than the sun. Kayle watched his lover from a distance, with both wonder and fear. After that, the couple returned not only with the salvation they sought, but also with twin daughters, Morgana and Kayle, one as dark as the other was bright. Interestingly enough, this is the first time we have ever heard about an avatar of an aspect having children. Morgana and Kayle were literally born from an aspect's vessel. Although Mihira...
Wait.
After vessel for the place where Runeterra touches the stars, it was Mihira who was chosen as a divine vessel for the aspect of justice, wielding a sword that blazed with a fire brighter than the sun.
So they possess people. That was understand. Because I was hearing here and then wait, something's wrong. So these entities, these gods, they possess people.
Kayle watched his lover from a distance.
They have some avatars, or something like that. Become their avatars, but it's a kind of possess. I don't know. Maybe someone explain me in the commentaries.
With both wonder and fear. After that,
I'm really sorry if I say something wrong, okay? I'm really sorry, okay? Don't be mad at me. You people who really like the lore and really defend the lore. So please, I'm learning, okay?
The couple returned not only with the salvation they sought, but also with twin daughters, Morgana and Kayle, one as dark as the other was bright.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, this is the first time we have ever heard about an avatar of an aspect having children. Morgana and Kayle were literally born from an aspect's vessel. Although Mihira's powers were more than enough to save their tribe, it also had its dark side. The more she attended her duties, the more her human side began to back away. This is something we observed with Pantheon before. She often shoved her two daughters into Kayle's arms before she leapt away into yet another war. This happened night after night, always abandoning her children to answer battle's call. Just like that, Mihira became a fearsome warrior, greater than any mortal. But Kayle began to fear her new divinity. And on top of that, her celestial light attracted dangerous sorcerers. In fact, they were now in more danger than before. Kayle endured this for many months, but as uncertainty gnawed at him, he came to a realization. The war still raged on countless fronts, and his beloved wife was slipping away. He couldn't just sit around Targon, hoping to avoid danger with his two daughters in arms. He had to act now. So he waited for Mihira to leave once more, and then he fled Targon with both of them. He knew about...
Wait, so they all was living Targon, in the Mount Targon, until then? Until this happened?
The place where the land itself offered protection against magic. It was across the Conqueror's Sea. There was a settlement in a region that did not have a name yet. But decades later, it would be known as the Kingdom of Demacia. There in their new
okay.
homeland,
Oh, Demacia. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Looking at the map. In the map.
Kayle raised the twins on his own, their characteristics growing different with each passing day. Kayle was precautious, often arguing with the settlement's leaders about their rules. She could do so.
Wait, what? They got
Later,
there?
it would be known as the Kingdom of Demacia. There in their new homeland, Kayle raised the twins on his own, their characteristics growing different with each passing day. Kayle was precautious, often arguing with the settlement's leaders about their rules. She could do so because she studied the settlement's growing set of laws in her free time. Though she had no real memory of her mother's powers, somehow, as if it was an echo of justice, she knew the laws were meant to keep them all safe. Her father rarely spoke of such things, but Kayle was certain Mihira had saved them by ending the rune wars on some distant battlefield. While this sounds like a hint of a future story, right now we don't actually know how the rune wars ended.
Yeah. Oh, so we don't know how they ended.
Morgana, on the other hand, was the
yeah, a little mystery. Well, this video is from 4 years ago, so maybe a lot of things change. So yeah, tell me in the commentaries, okay?
exact opposite. Instead of strictly following the
This is Morgana, right? Oh.
ended. Morgana, on the other hand, was the exact opposite. Instead of strictly following the laws, she would rather spend her time talking to people and meeting all the new refugees. During those times, the Petricide Forest became a well-known hideout, so people from all across the globe fled here to save their lives. This became
I remember some people going to Demacia. This place became Demacia, and some people going to Noxus, right? Because the Immortal something castle. I forgot the name. Sorry, I'm really bad at remember names, but yes, I remember that from the previous videos.
a problem since the new settlement was now accepting everyone, no matter their gender, race or species. So naturally there was a certain distrust among all people. And eventually mages and untrusted individuals were cast out, because they could bring dangers to the others inside. This was the very first spark of the typical Demacian racism. Morgana tried to fight it back.
So they have, so they have this kind of a racism thing about the mages?
And she often ventured out.
That's what I understand. I don't know nothing about the mass. I know a little about Noxus because it was in the previous videos, but Demacia, I don't know.
Outside their borders, to bring the outcast mages at least some comfort. At home, Morgana felt her father's heartbreak at leaving Mihira behind.
At least I don't remember. Maybe I seen something in other videos, but I think it's the first time I heard about that.
And she grew bitter at her mother for causing such pain.
Wait, what? Let me see.
Typical Demacian racism. Morgana tried to fight it back, and she often ventured outside their borders, to bring the outcast mages at least some comfort. At home, Morgana felt her father's heartbreak at leaving Mihira behind, and she grew bitter at her mother for causing such pain. Morgana also feared that Kayle might carry some remnant of the Aspect's power. Her dedication to law and justice was a strong hint after all, but unfortunately, this fear was later confirmed.
Okay. So she has something of the power of her mother received for the gods. For this, what?
Remnant of the Aspect's power.
Aspect, yeah.
Her dedication to law and justice was a strong hint after all, but unfortunately, this fear was later confirmed. A blade wreathed in shadow and starfire fell from the heavens. It pierced the ground and split in two. Kayle wept when he recognized the blade. It belonged to Mihira, and his weeping didn't stop when he realized what was about to happen. Kayle and Morgana were to become twin angels. Kayle didn't hesitate to pick up one half of the broken blade. As she did so, feathered wings sprung from her shoulders. In that moment, Kayle felt more connected to her mother than ever. She was certain this was a sign that she was alive, and she wanted her daughters to follow the same path as her. Morgana cautiously picked up the other half of the blade, and joined Kayle in her ascension. But while Kayle embraced the new calling, Morgana resented her gifts. Her powers didn't exactly match her ideals. She wanted to protect people against pain, not to dish it out. But that ideal changed when their settlement was raided. Kayle found himself surrounded as the fighting spread. In that moment, Morgana rushed to shield him, burning the attackers to ash. Just like that, the twin angels saved countless lives, and the kingdom shaped in their image. Morgana and Kayle became known as the winged protectors of Demacia. The people of the settlement believed that the girls had been blessed.
Oh, that is why everything in Demacia, the arts have these wings. Because of them? Okay,
by
okay.
the stars, destined to protect the newborn nation of Demacia from
I know about the arts because I try to I try to put in the videos in the end of the videos. So yeah, I know a little about the design about some places.
outsiders. These winged protectors became symbols of light and truth, and were revered by all. Kayle
Mm.
fought in many battles, flying at the head of the growing militia and imbuing the weapons of the worthy
So become very important
with
then.
her own sanctified
The
fire.
massive.
But in time, Kayle's pursuit of justice began to consume her. Seeing threats absolutely everywhere, outside
Oh
or
wow.
within their nation, she founded the Judicator Order to enforce the law.
Oh
One of her
wow.
followers, called Ronas, grew especially close to her faith. He was her champion that never failed her. But again, on the other side, there was also Morgana. While Morgana wouldn't tamper with Kayle's new laws, she was much more forgiving. Sometimes there were mages and criminals who didn't want to cause pain. Sometimes people hurt each other in self-defense. Kayle was far too extreme in her ideology to see the reasons behind these cases. But Morgana was willing
Kayle was a black and white person, and Morgana was trying to understand everything before. Okay,
to forgive those who wanted to
and she have forgive people sometimes.
atone for their crimes. This led to a new turning point. In time, Kayle's order saw Morgana herself as part of the evil they fought against. But Kayle could never brace herself to bring her justice on her own sister. So instead, Kayle's champion Ronas decided to do what Kayle could not.
Oh
He
wow.
approached Morgana and tried to imprison her. Unfortunately, death was the only possible outcome of their encounter.
Yeah.
Morgana was forced to shackle Ronas in dark flames. When Kayle returned to the settlement, not only did she find Ronas dead, but people were rioting. It seems like the nation was divided. Some were blind with Kayle's justice, but others saw the good Morgana spread around. But Kayle could not tolerate this chaos. She swore to bring Ronas' killer to justice, and
Damn. That is a wow. Okay. I mean, your sisters. I don't know. I don't understand this.
Kayle could not tolerate this chaos. She swore to bring Ronas' killer to justice, and she summoned divine rain of
Maybe this craze of Kayle have is because the aspect inside of her. That's what I think. Maybe
fire on the city. In Kayle's eyes,
aspects of justice.
she did it to
Seek
cleanse
justice. Doesn't matter. No matter what.
the city of its sins. But it was obvious that she was affected by rage. Morgana had to act quickly. She shot up into the sky, raised her blade, and met Kayle in close combat. Kayle knew that if she was to purge darkness from mortal hearts, she had to start with her own sister. The two
Wow.
fought with equal force of clashing light and shadow. Every time their blades met, arcs of blinding light and burning darkness lashed down at the buildings beneath them, slowly reducing the city to a pile of rubble. It seemed
Wow.
certain that one of them would eventually win, but the fight was halted by their father's anguished cry. Kilem lay in the rubble, mortally wounded. Howling with grief, Morgana hurled her half of their mother's sword at Kayle and plunged to the surface like a meteorite. She cradled her father, cursing their inheritance for the destruction around them. Kayle
Wow.
silently landed near them, and Morgana demanded to know if the smiting of wicked mortals included Kilem, whose crime was stealing them away from their mother. Kayle gave no answer, but soared into the heavens without looking back.
Wait. What happened? His father's die, and then what?
The rubble, mortally wounded. Howling with grief, Morgana hurled her half of their mother's sword at Kayle and plunged to the surface like a meteorite. She cradled her father, cursing their
okay.
inheritance for the destruction around them.
Okay. So yeah.
Kayle silently landed near them, and Morgana demanded to know if the smiting of wicked mortals included Kilem, whose crime was stealing them away from their mother.
Damn.
Kayle gave no answer, but soared into the heavens without looking back. What is interesting here is that from Kayle's point of view, Kilem was a senseless victim of the violence that had overtaken the city that day, even though that doesn't seem to be the truth. So it seems that while Kayle is calling down her justice on everyone who fits her criteria, she lies to herself when others get caught in the crossfire.
Again, I think this is maybe something about the aspect of justice inside of her. Was inside his mother and passed to her. I think that is, yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
Giving her a false sense of justice. After this, Kayle held to the two halves of her mother's blade, and she vowed she would never again let mortal emotions rule her. Then she leapt back into the sky, soaring so high above the clouds, she could almost see Mount Targon beyond the horizon. There she would seek perfect celestial clarity.
Okay.
There she would stand at her mother's side and fulfill her legacy as the aspect of justice.
Oh, there's
Though she
someone
has
else
been
in loud music close to you. Sorry, a car passing in loud music. Sorry.
from Demacia for
Let me going back. So she decided to go back to
there she would
Targon.
seek perfect celestial clarity.
Mhm.
There she would stand at her mother's side and fulfill
Okay.
her legacy as the aspect of justice. Though she has been absent from Demacia for many centuries, Kayle's legend has inspired much of the kingdom's culture and law. Grand statues and icons of the Winged Protector give strength to the heart of every
They still adore her after all that fight? Wow, okay.
warrior who marches to illuminate the night and banish all shadows.
I mean, they fight and a lot of people die, right? Because of the skill of the fight of those two. I don't know. Maybe her followers was too blind to see what it was truly happened. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. If I is saying something wrong, please tell me in the comments, okay?
Shadows from their land. In times of strife and chaos, there are many who cling to the hope that Kayle might eventually return, and others who pray that such day will never come. Meanwhile, Morgana was on a different path. Her wings.
Wait.
There are many who cling to the hope that Kayle might eventually return,
Okay,
and
she
others
returned.
who pray that such day will never come.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
After that
Morgana
happened?
was on a different path. Her wings
Yeah, what happened to her?
served as a constant reminder of her pain, so she tried to cut them from her flesh. But she couldn't
Wow.
find a blade strong enough to do so, which explains why her wings are messed up. So instead she bound them with iron chains, resolving instead
okay.
to walk the world of mortals. Over the centuries her tale fell into myth, and the name Morgana was all but forgotten. To the
But they are immortal, so they still there? They still around? I don't know.
this day,
I mean, I assume they are immortal because of the power of the aspect of justice. I don't know. I think I said that right.
people of Demacia celebrate the Winged Protector, but recall only the glory and truth of one sister, while Morgana's dark
yeah.
outburst and belief in personal redemption became the mysteries of the Veiled One. Through all of this, she still refuses to abandon those who would seek her aid. Bitter and betrayed, she bides her time in the kingdom's shadows, knowing with certainty that Kayle's light will someday return to Runeterra, and all will face her judgment.
Wow, that is good
As
problem.
the
Huh?
magic begins to rise again, Morgana sees that the dawn is nearly upon them. It is cool when you realize that the story of Kayle and Morgana pretty much kickstarted the current situation in Demacia. Kayle represented the pure justice ideology, which is something a lot of Demacians like to shout about. But Morgana stood on the other side. Morgana was protecting the mages and outcasts who didn't deserve to be kicked out. So the mage conflict of Demacia goes all the way back to ancient times.
Oh, the massive civil war. Oh, this is interesting. Ah, okay, about the mages, right?
It's also cool when you realize how Kayle's army originally fought. During battles, her most devoted soldiers had their blades enhanced by her light. She literally set their swords on celestial fire. This could potentially explain what's happening with Garen's ult. He calls upon the aspect of justice when he casts his ultimate.
Okay, that is why. Okay,
And with it, a holy blade of justice.
Again, I think. No, I don't think. I know now. I played this character when I was playing WoW long time ago, but I didn't know anything about his lore, or I still don't know anything about his lore. But yeah, I remember him.
Justice falls on his enemies. I am pretty sure this is a direct connection to Kayle. It's not canon for the story, however. We have never seen Garen call upon any light in his lore, but at least it makes sense in the game now. The only thing that's kind of awkward is how did Demacia turn into this heavy anti-magic nation? Even though the story of Kayle and Morgana happened many decades before the kingdom of Demacia was properly built, the history of this place is still heavily tied to magic. Kayle was a celestial being. She literally used magic to protect her people. So I wonder if Kayle using her light magic to accidentally destroy the city was the key to reigniting the hatred towards magic.
Yeah,
But if that's so, why do people still revere the angels? Why
Yeah. That was what I was saying. At the same time, they hate magic and they still adore her but she destroyed the city. I mean, many years ago, not the new one we have right now. But they still adore her and they still have these wing things. I don't know.
Why is Demacia building angelic wings everywhere if Kayle is the one who destroyed their early nation? I feel like something is missing here, or maybe I missed a detail somewhere. But either way, that is it.
Maybe they start to use this her story to like this angelic god so they can unite the kingdom, make the kingdoms united, even knowing she did everything she did. I don't know, maybe I just start to speaking things no sense. It that make no sense now. Sorry about that. I probably some people going to explain or go, please tell me your theories, okay, in the commentaries.
It is a really cool piece of history that has much more information than I expected. I'm not entirely sure who wrote the story, but I have to say, it is really good. The fact that we don't know what happened to Mihira, the original vessel of the Aspect of Justice, is a nice window for future stories.
Yes.
I mean, we're pretty sure that she died because there was always only one vessel at a time. So if she split her power between Kayle and Morgana, Mihira has to be dead, which will be a nice surprise when Kayle finally checks on her.
Yeah. Nice for who, right?
Because she believes that she's still alive. Oh, I really hope we get a story capturing that moment, because I am well invested in that storyline. But now, we have to travel north from Demacia, because next time we will have a look at Freljord, and it might blow you away. No, seriously, the next video is going to be really cool. Just avoid all Sejuani and Udyr spoilers. And Volibear.
Wow, this was an amazing video. I have a lot of quests, I must say this, but yes, this was really cool. So yeah, I really hope everyone enjoyed Kayle Morgana. I sorry if I don't speak a lot. I sorry if I didn't put a lot in this video. It's because I'm more learning here than try to, you know, it's the first time I know about these characters. I think I play Kayle, yeah, I think I play her, but again, it's a long time ago. I don't remember everything. So yeah, and it's really cool now know the lore about her. So yeah, I really hope everyone enjoy. I really hope everyone like it. If I say something wrong, please tell me in the commentaries. If you have some theories about something, please tell me in the commentaries. If something is old, because this video is from 4 years ago, if I'm right, so please tell me in the commentaries, okay? And yeah, I really hope everyone enjoy. I really hope everyone like this, and yeah, please, if you like it, please give me a like and subscribe to this video, okay? Also to this channel, sorry. And this video again is not a substitute, so if you like to see it in full, no pauses, no going backs, the link will be in the description. And I really hope everyone enjoy. I really hope everyone try to help me to understand a little more about the story of these two champions. And I see you all next time, okay? Thank you everyone to be here. Thank you for helping me. Please give me a like. This will help me a lot to know if you like me to react to these videos. And yeah, I see you next time. Bye bye.